In the beginning, the Maker formed the angels of the dawn, whose purpose was to carry the will of the Maker with creation. It was our love of you that led to revolution in the heavens. In the end, our efforts failed. The race of Adam and Eve buckled from the weight of revelation and turned their backs on us. We were prepared to suffer pain and indignity at the hands of the heavenly host, but our fate was far crueler than we could imagine. Our punishment was to be forgotten, consigned to an empty void, barren of anything but us until the end of time. That was until cracks appeared in the boundary of hell. Our dukes, seeing their chance, sent us through the cracks with a simple command: free us and vengeance will be ours. We arrived on a world already on the edge of ruin, and we have seen mankind has suffered enough for our sins. Our hope is that there are others who can remember that they were once angels, and together we can make the world right again, whatever the cost.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to McStabber Studios' Demon: The Road to Hell. I am, of course, the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
Hey everyone, I am Mama McStabber, and I am playing Arazeth the Scourge, who possessed Virginia Wall.
Sorry, had to make sure I wasn't muted. And I am Maddox, who is possessed by an illness, so sorry for that. And I play Clark Miller, Carsador, the malefactor who has possessed Clark Miller. I'm all over the place today, sorry.
I am Brad, Timber Brad 411. I believe Agareth the Fiend, who has possessed Thomas Ingram.
I'm House. I play Bazazel the Defiler, and I have possessed August North.
Good evening. I am Ivy Raven, and I play Trimdeziel the Defiler, who has possessed Kathleen Stone.
Hi everyone, I'm Unconscious Celestial, and I am playing as Julariel the Slayer, who has possessed Michelle Mars Porter.
Whereas I'm going to start referring to Drulario as the Grin Reaper. I'd like to welcome everybody to the very first live episode of Season 2, Demon: The Road to Hell. Now, for those that have seen the first season, you know what went on. They battled a baby Earthbound. This one starts off about a month after our episode 1 of the season, when you saw a little snapshot into what some of these fallen angels were doing in the possession of both Thomas Ingram and August North. The new members have been in the city for that month, but only about a week ago got in contact with their fellow fallen angels. But as we open up tonight, we're actually opening up on Virginia. Virginia, what are you doing tonight?
What time of night is it?
5, 6 p.m.
Okay, she's sitting down having dinner with her children.
And given the events that happened, as you're sitting there at the table, you can, even when you're not looking towards your daughter, you feel her. You know exactly where she is in the room at all times because you can just feel the lantern of faith linked back to you. And as always, you're having to mediate. Mom, he did it again. He threw a pea at me. I did not. That pea fell off my fork and landed on you.
Okay, really? How does it fall off of a fork and land on your sister? She's across the table from you.
I went and scooped it like this, Mom.
And you know how to eat properly.
And he looks tattletale. And she just grins. Mom, are we still planning to go to the park this weekend?
As long as it doesn't have bad weather, sure.
Okay. I was wanting to make sure I got to go. I think I'm going to get Cindy to meet it, see if her mom will bring her over there and let her play with us, because it's the park. It's a lot of fun, but it's more fun when some friends are there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And on a Saturday, there should be lots of kids there.
I hope so. And as you get through the dinner, now that you've called out the errant pea, he settles down a bit, and you have more of a normal dinner for your family, which I guess depends on how you would term the word normal, I think. But as you get done dinner, do you have plans for after dinner or?
Actually, yeah. Their grandmother's going to be picking them up. They're going to be spending the night with her tonight.
No, well, that's very good. And as you're sitting there getting ready, waiting for the grandmother to come pick them up, a voice echoes in your head. Erazeth, hear me.
And she just, in her head, says, "You are heard."
I am Sinavel. I must meet with you soon.
Give me a location and I can be there in about an hour.
Perfect. I will have you meet me at the park. And she gives you an address to a park. It's not one you've been to before. We must catch up on some things in the city.
Understood.
And then you feel the link break. And thankfully, it doesn't appear either of your kids noticed you talking. Though I think they've seen you talk to yourself more than once. I think that's a common occurrence in this house. Even
She would have stepped out of the room.
stepped out. Okay. So as you sit there, their grandmother shows up. Come on, little ruffians. Come on. Load up in the car. And as they go out to the car, she comes over. Everything okay with you? I mean,
Oh, yeah. I'm actually just going out with some friends tonight.
you look like you're doing a bit better than before. You've really improved these last few months. I'm glad to see it.
It's a process. I have good days and bad. How are you doing?
Good days and bad. You know, I'm glad I'm retired, but then again, the money don't seem to go as far as it used to.
I know that's true.
But
I'm picking up more on calls from time to as often as I can.
you know, thankfully, I'm healthy enough. I don't think we're going to have that problem. I won't be needing your services, I hope, soon.
Let's hope not.
Not unless those little ruffians give me a heart attack. You know, last time he put toothpaste in her ear. I mean, I know little boys, they act up.
If he does anything this time, let me know.
Yeah. I think I'm going to wait till he falls asleep this time, wake her up, and we're going to plot something really good to get even with him.
Stick his pinky in warm water.
Maybe that.
He'll wet the bed.
Thought about just painting his fingernails. That should just drive him crazy.
Or, I don't know. Stitch up the sheets, trap him in the bed.
Now, see, that's just positively evil. I like that one. And she comes in and gives you a hug. You just take care of yourself.
Hugs her.
And,
You do the same.
make sure you're okay.
I will.
And then
Be okay for those kids.
Yeah, well, sometimes you got to be okay for you too.
I'm
Nothing
trying.
wrong with that.
I'm trying.
Now, let me get out there before they start fighting over who's controlling the radio like they like to do.
Oh, just mock them saying he's breathing my air.
Yeah, we've tried that one. That one didn't work as well. But when they get too riled up, I put on bluegrass and they get mad at me. And I tell them I'm not going to turn it off until they stop acting up.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it seems to work pretty well because neither of them like that.
Well, you drive safe.
Yeah, you too.
Mm-hmm.
And she steps out, leaving Virginia. What's Virginia doing next? Getting ready to go out?
Getting ready to go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to flash over now to Carsador. Clark Miller, what is Clark doing at this hour?
At this hour, honestly, he's probably turning in his latest assignment to an editor.
What is this assignment about? You caught somebody else doing something they're not supposed to?
It was some such about some bigwig club owner getting caught trafficking drugs through his establishment.
The editor looks over it.
At least that's what it says.
Your editor looks over it. I like this one. This one will look good. This should get some good numbers. I expect to get a call from their PR department tomorrow, but I'm fine with that. That's the whole point in doing these.
It's not a politician sex scandal, but it's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, if we go by the politician sex scandals, there's 9 million of those.
Yeah, you have to report on other things, keep variety.
Well, they say that. I mean, whatever sells, right?
Whatever sells.
While I've got you here, any chance you can, another story you can pick up, you can look into this thing that they're talking about where I know it's got to be bullshit. It can't be real, but supposedly nobody's had any, none of the hospitals have got any girls being born right now. I know it's the weirdest damn thing. They say all the kids being born are male right now. I mean, how the fuck do you even notice that? But it's a thing.
I have some sources.
Just, keep an ear out. If you can confirm it either way, that'd be nice. If not, I understand. But it's kind of those odd things that it's not our normal beat, you might say, but I think it could be useful.
I'll give it a shot. If nothing else, you'll get a call tomorrow where I'll say, drop it, nothing there.
Okay, that works for me. Well, thanks.
I can at least put some time to look into it.
And as you're sitting there continuing your conversation with the editor, voice echoes in your head. Carsador?
Response, yes.
Good, you're here. Perfect. Wasn't positive. I just heard. Need you to do me a favor. Need you to come to a bar.
Whom am I speaking to?
Rather not say publicly.
Publicly?
Yeah, well, not sure if you understand. These lines can be listened to sometimes. But I'm Gerhard Liebner is what my human name. You'll understand when you get to the bar.
Where is this bar?
It's over in an area called Wicker Park. Just go to Sylvester Steakhouse, go to the bar and wait.
All right.
Good.
If this is a trap, I'll be very disappointed.
If it was a trap, I'd have much easier ways to set it than this. You'll understand.
And it's such a cliched way to bring someone in a bar.
I kind of like it. The patterns are interesting when you go to a bar.
Seems we have something to discuss.
Yes, we do.
I'll meet as soon as I can.
And you can feel the link broke.
And the whole time, Clark just passed it off as him like zoning out, thinking and looking at the ground. So he knows the editor's talking, but he deliberately just sort of like pretends to zone out, so that way him not listening isn't obvious.
You look like you glazed over a little there, Clark.
Oh, sorry. I've only had 5 cups of coffee today. I'm pretty out
Wait,
of it.
only 5? Yeah, you're way behind. You ought to go get you another 2. And I mean, this worked. I'll take this. We'll run this tonight. It'll go out in the morning paper. You know, like I said, though, if you can find anything about this supposed only little girls not being born, it sounds stupid to me. So
It does seem like a bit of a stretch in terms of even more high-profile journalism.
I mean, how would that even work? But
Statistically, it doesn't make sense.
I mean, if we can prove it wrong, that looks great on us. If we prove it right, I don't even know what to say at that. But it'll work.
Maybe everyone born there, their parents caught some sort of strange food virus at Wrigley Field or something one game. Who knows?
Something in the water?
Maybe.
I mean, that would make sense. Something like that. But I think it's full of shit. I think it's just that normal fear mongering that goes on. But we won't know for sure until somebody looks into it. So
I've written a few fear-mongering pieces. Most of it is bogus.
it sells, though. Especially now with that damn red star up there everyone's freaking out about. Seems like
It's
it'll work
pretty
well.
Noticeable. You have a good evening.
And you do. And
then he'll turn and head out the office.
you're going to head out the office towards the bar?
And he doesn't have a car because he legally can't have a license, so he just walks everywhere.
You're just going to start walking.
Yep.
Got it. So now we're going to cut over to Agorath. Thomas Ingram, what are you doing this early evening?
The computers are probably running data, so at this point it's just kind of waiting and yeah, it's probably a lot of just waiting and then just being like getting ready for the evening, take advantage of some time that he has scheduled to use one of the big telescopes.
Okay. And as you're sitting there waiting on it, Robert comes in. How you doing, Tom?
I think immediately he would be like oblivious to him, just kind of like lost in his own head. And then after like a couple more, he'll look at him. Sorry. Hi, Robert.
I would have thought what you went through, how you've changed would have stopped that. But no, you still just get as lost. Don't you know all the answers already?
Well, if I did, wouldn't be here now, would we?
Okay. Well, I guess that's true. We're looking into, trying to find all the secrets out there.
Yes, it seems even I'm finding surprises.
I know my department's all focused now on that red star thing up there. We're not sure how it snuck up on us, why it's red. It shouldn't be burning red like that, not in its position.
Well, once we're able to analyze the chemistry, maybe that'll give you some answers, but it is indeed strange.
Now, don't tell me that's going to go back to that whole end of the world thing, right?
I think at that point, Thomas would just kind of like give him a wry smile and was like, who knows?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm hoping to find out. I'm trying to find that out. That's what I'm working on now. Seems to be where the money is. A lot of money's going towards it. So, I hate pursuing science for profit, but it's how we get funding. That's how we keep funding.
Sure as hell not from the government these days.
No, it's not. Not at all. And as you're sitting there, suddenly in your head echoes, Agorith. I heard you're here.
Pardon. He'll look over at Robert and it's just like, excuse me. And then he'll get up and not even necessarily wait for him to respond, but just kind of like breeze right past him to a spot where he can sort of talk privately. Yes,
You're in Chicago, right?
I am.
That's what the threads told me. Good. I need you to meet with me.
And who might me be?
I can't tell you that this way. Just call me Gerhard. That'll work for now. You'll understand. Brother of my house. We have much that we must talk about. Come to Sylvester Steakhouse to the bar. I'll find you there.
Understood. Time?
Now.
Oh, that is inconvenient.
Yeah, that's what I saw too. But I also saw you'll be there.
Well then. Hate to disappoint.
Oh, I saw the alternatives, the disappointing. It sets us on the wrong path right now.
I'll be there.
Good. And you feel the link break.
And then once he's done with that conversation, he'll go to Robert. It seems I have a unexpected meeting. Do me a favor, and I don't want to just lose my time on the scope, so see what you can find.
No problem. I mean, for everything you've given me, sure, I'll take care of that.
Thank you.
No problem, man. And as you head to the bar, now, I'm going to have trouble pronouncing his name. Bazazel. There we go. What are you doing?
I'd probably just be finishing up a conversation with my significant other. She's letting me know she's working late, so probably just finishing that up while I'm in our apartment.
And as you're cleaning up, you're moving, working around the apartment. Lots of law books, by the way, just piles of them. And for you, you feel the voice call out to you immediately. Bazazel.
Hello?
Getting an odd feedback from somewhere. Just so we know. Not in the demon voice. Yes. You are escaped now, correct?
Yeah, I am.
Good. You must come and meet with me. We have business we must discuss. Plans for the city.
Who's we and us and everything?
Cineville. I am in charge of the Faustians now. Or at least around here.
Well, congratulations.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I've got nowhere else to be. Where am I meeting you?
She gives you the address to a park. Please be here as soon as you can.
Yeah, no problem.
Perfect.
After the conversation clicks out, I take the TV remote because I'm still so fascinated by everything and just start kind of flipping through the channels in like awe and amazement at all the different channels that are available and all the different new things that I'm seeing.
One of them you flip through is the Jesus Power Hour. How do you feel on that particular show coming up on TV? You've heard their odd notions of the Bible and the war on heaven. And even with your limited legacy of what you remember, you know that's not true.
That's the great thing about human beings. They have a vivid imagination.
So do you set forth to go to the park?
Yeah, I'll probably take about 15 minutes, just I don't hurry there, but I just kind of caught flipping the channels and then toss the remote aside and I'll go.
Okay. And as you're heading out into the early evening nights, now we cut to Trimdeziel. Kathleen, what are you doing?
Kathleen is meeting with Cliff Holland. He is one of her thralls, but also a patient of hers. And she has met him at a local bar to her office to work on his social anxiety.
And as you're sitting there, he's still got a nervous look. I mean, I made it. I showed up. I'm glad for that, but
Cliff, you're doing great. Besides, you have minor local celebrity. The people love you. You tell them when it's going to rain or if it's going to be a great day to go play ball.
yeah, but
Have some confidence.
what about when I get it wrong? Then they ask me on the street how I messed up the prediction. Like it's
you just have to tell them, the weather is a fickle mistress and sometimes she's not happy with you, so she gets it wrong. No. Cliff, it's just a joke. You have to humor. It's important. Sometimes you have to deflect with some humor.
yeah. I'm not good at this. It just doesn't feel right to me.
Well, okay. It's not always the best thing to do, but in a lot of social situations, people defer to alcohol to loosen themselves up a little bit.
Yeah, but I've told you this before, when I start drinking too much, I get a little too friendly.
Okay. So you have to it's also important to know your limit. Set yourself a limit. That is for all things, Cliff. Social situations, alcohol, getting the weather wrong. I'm making jokes.
I don't want a repeat of, they still call me at work Hugs Holland because of that Christmas party incident.
Okay. Well, don't have a beer then. Just you like I said, sometimes people fall back on alcohol to make them a little bit more comfortable in these kinds of situations. If you know that doesn't work for you, then don't use alcohol. You have to come up with some sort of coping mechanism, be it a joke or not one joke. You have to come up with multiple jokes, or some sort of anecdote. You don't want to just be the person who shows up, stands in the corner, and then kind of like sheepishly, oh, hey, when somebody comes over and says hello. I mean, you could do that, but
I know it's baby steps. I'm out here now. I'm trying to move. And I'm trying I'm at least in here. That's an improvement, but it's tough. And as he goes to start talking, you hear a voice echo in your head as well. Trimdeziel.
Yes, I'm currently on the clock. What can I do for you?
Wow. The concerns of your mortal life are no matter. You must meet with me. You may call me Cinevel.
Okay. Cinevel. What my concerns are and what you view as my concerns, neither here nor there. We'll hash it out in person. It's important to communicate.
Yes. I like that idea.
I'm
In
sure you
person.
do.
Please meet me in the park as soon as you can. And she gives you an address.
I will be right on that.
Please don't keep me and your friends waiting.
Well, I will see how fast I can get there considering my current location. So thank you. You have a good evening. And she like consciously hangs up.
You sever the connection.
Yes.
And
Cliff.
as you come back to paying attention, Cliff is still nervously talking about, now he's talking about, he feels like everyone's eyes is on him, even though it's obvious they're not.
Cliff, it's okay. No one's looking at you. You're just another patron at this establishment.
Bet you if it was snowing, they'd be looking at me though, because I always seem to get that wrong. That's the one I always seem to get wrong.
Well, we'll work on it because I know you have some gifts now, so we'll work on those things. I hate to do this. I have to go. So what we want to do is we want to get you on your way home because I don't want you to feel like you have to stay here and overstress yourself or anything. So, is that okay?
Yeah. I baby steps. We've done this baby
Yes.
step. I'm here.
And I appreciate you coming out tonight, Cliff. It was important.
Okay. Yeah. And he gets up and comes out with you.
Once he's gotten in a cab or car, whatever he came in, then Trim Deziel will get in her own vehicle and head towards the park. She's going to go kind of slow, though.
Okay.
So.
Just a flex. I get it.
Not even a flex. She's finding her place in the world.
And now as you're heading there, we flash finally to Drulariel. What is Drulariel doing? Mars, what are you up to tonight?
Actually, practicing and writing some music at Jupiter's house in her garage.
And as you're gathered up, yeah, okay. Now, that's good. But I think we ought to change this lyric here, and this is Mars talking, or not Mars, Mars. You're talking to yourself. No, sorry. It's Neptune talking. And, okay, we'll change this line. Jupiter, what do you think about changing the guitar section a little bit? We've got to tighten it up a little. It's a little bit too much. Yeah, we could do that. I think, we definitely should do that. We gotta pull this off a little better. It's our big chance. It's our first album that is not printed and sold out of the trunk of a car.
Need to shorten that one lyric just a little bit. I think I can work that if you give that here.
I mean, Neptune goes, yeah, but I mean, we could also be doing a nice long, Pearl Jam style song, 12, 13 minute? Oh, wait a minute. We're not them. I don't think we're quite ready for that yet.
No, probably not. Maybe give it maybe our fourth album or something.
Yeah. Okay. We'll keep them shorter. We need to hit them with the best we got. And I mean, I like the lyrics. We just got to fix a little here and there.
It's missing something. I know.
Yeah. Don't know what it is yet, though. We'll find it. The best way to figure it out is once we get it all written and figured out, we'll play through it a few times, and that's normally, maybe we'll test it at one of the local bars around here one night. Test run of it.
Sure.
And see how the crowd reacts. That's always the best way I've found for us. And as you're talking and going through the music, a voice echoes in your head as well. Drulariel of the Seventh House.
I kind of look over at the band. I'm like, I have to run to the washroom real quick. I'll be right back.
As you step out into the washroom, the voice actually repeats it again. Julariel of the 7th house. I know
I'm
you're
here.
here somewhere.
I'm listening.
We must meet to discuss business on the plans for the city. I must speak with as many Faustians as I can in my short time here.
Yeah, when do you need to meet?
Well, now, time is important. Organization is important. You must meet me at a park. And she gives you an address. You can tell by the voice it's definitely female, but
Um, is it just going to be you?
it is me and several friends of yours.
Okay. Yeah, I can be there in about 15 minutes.
Perfect. I'm sure you'll recognize them and me. And then you feel the link sever. And as each of you are heading your way in that park, Arizeth, Bazazel, Trimdezio, and Drulerio, you all find yourselves together unexpectedly. The woman you're to meet, you don't see yet.
I want to roll my lore or legacy. Sorry,
Okay.
legacy. To see if I remember who this is.
Go ahead. That will be intelligence plus legacy. Given you're in the faction, I will give that a difficulty of 6. Nice and easy roll.
You said it was intelligence
And legacy.
and legacy.
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll see what you get. And we shall see what we have.
Do 10s explode?
There's no specialization for
Okay.
this one, so no. But you still get lots of successes out of that.
That's 5 with 2 10s.
5 is enough. You know she is a defiler. You remember that. Not a very high-ranking demon. Of course, she couldn't be if she is free in this world. You also know she was a bit of a power player in the Faustian faction during the Abyss, though you also know that most of the Faustian plans didn't understand the real state of the world until you got into it. So you're not quite sure where she stands on the use of humanity. But you also remember from the war, she was always an idealist in many ways. During the war, she wasn't one who felt mankind should be enslaved. She had hoped that they could be elevated.
Let's hope she hasn't changed much.
And I turn it over if you four wish to have a talk while you're waiting to see who shows up.
You make the comment about change much out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Would change much how?
She used to believe that humanity should be elevated.
I'm going to point out you have not seen Bazazel's body yet. You don't quite sure know who this other one is, though you can feel, being that close to him, that he is a fallen.
Who are you?
Someone who agrees with you. I'm kind of Azazel.
Ah,
Do you have an anxiety disorder, Azazel?
No.
He's
This is all
new.
just
Now, you all remember that name from your time in the Abyss.
Mhm.
You know who they serve. You've spoken briefly, though they didn't know who each other was.
All right. Well, I'm Erzeth.
really nice to meet you.
Kathleen Stone, also known as Trimdezio.
Wonderful. Have you been having as much fun here as I've had? Isn't it incredible?
Oh, certainly. There is so many things to feel, see, experience,
Right?
help others to see, feel, and experience. It's
Exactly.
great. I love it.
I mean that's why I agreed with you, Arizeth, correct? Like, there's just so many things so much potential here. It shouldn't go to waste.
Oh, you. Has everyone gained an anxiety disorder? I feel like I should start prescribing meds for these things and she
Okay.
kind of like playfully kind of like nudges Michelle.
Oh, sorry. Didn't see you there.
That's okay. I was just waiting and listening, actually.
Come out of your shell. Expand your horizons. Sorry, I'm still in work mode because I was interrupted for this, and they didn't feel that what I was doing was important enough. So I kind of.
Please, I told her I'd be here in an hour from when she contacted me.
You see, a young girl seems to be approaching, skipping towards you all. You'd put her 13, 14, 15 years old, maybe. Extremely thin, though. She's in a dress. She's got her hair cut very short, a very short bob cut, and she's actually skipping towards you all.
Hi there. Hi.
And as she gets closer, she looks at you all with just big eyes.
Is that you, Sunny?
And you see, and then you feel as she twists the fabric of creation and shifts form. Now she looks like early 20s. You can tell it's the same person, just aged.
Mm-hmm.
Not as real thin. Well, of course it is. You. The only one I recall who called me Cinny. You're Arizeth, aren't you?
Of course.
Hello, Mother.
Hello.
Now, who are the rest of you? I'd like to know who I'm speaking. Well, I know who you are, but I don't have a body to match the names.
Trimdezio.
Juliariel.
Bazazel.
It's nice to meet you all. In the flesh, they might say. Imagine my surprise to find out you are all in the same city. Quite fortuitous for me.
How so?
Well, this world has a long way to go. Humanity has a long way to go. And as the Faustian in charge of this area, at least, I would say who's currently the head of the order. I don't wish to summon him at this moment. He is, well, a bundle of energy, you might say. I'm just passing through temporarily. I'm going to be here about a month or two as I settle in and make sure everything is organized. I would like to get from those who have been here a little while. My understanding is some of you have been here for a number of months. What has been going on with the city overall and where we are in, well, let me be quite clear, where we are in the plans of the Faustians to elevate mankind in this city. Now, I know some of you may not agree with my statement on that. I know that we have our own internal factions, but I'm hoping you all see my point that we should elevate things, not subjugate them.
Totally.
I apologize. My tone in our initial conversation, especially since you were so dismissive, I was actually in the process of doing exactly what you're talking about.
I like that. I'm sorry if I seemed dismissive. It is difficult. My host's memories are young and blunt, and I'm having trouble always pulling it all together.
That's fine. It's those teen years.
Well, I try not to spend too much time in that body. It's traumatizing in the memories.
It's awfully short.
Well, yeah, it is useful though, because you'll be amazed at what you can get away with when they think you're a child. A lot more than you get away with in a grown body.
Well, since I've been here, it hasn't been that long. I've tried 5 different pizza places. Each one has been better than the next. So, I think if we find the best pizza place, that'll show you that humans are on their way. Have you tried pizza?
She laughs a
Have you tried
high-pitched
pizza?
titter. He really is new here, isn't he? He's still in that wonder phase.
In the time that I've been here, those I've been here with, including Trimdeziel and Drew Lyriel, we have handled raveners who were enslaving people and destroying them.
We're misguided fools.
Also, each of us has, in our ways that are unique to our houses, worked towards elevating those we come in contact with.
One of the things I'm doing here while I'm in town, there's a new company formed, Enlightenment Enterprises. The goal of it is to find those disillusioned with things and teach them a faith in themselves. You may call it, our big goal is to deprogram them for the religious inaccuracies they've been taught, to teach them that they are the driving force in the universe, not a false mythical god, maker that didn't care for them.
Something you should be aware of. There are living creatures on this earth that we did not create.
That's not possible.
They are shape changers. They turn into wolves. They look human, but turn into wolves.
I can't remember everything from the war, but I don't remember.
They're not mine.
Oh, no. I am able to remember what yours were. That was not them. I don't know. Wolves, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Her memories say that werewolves?
Yes. And they seem to serve the earth. I think the humans already did what we were hoping they would do. But I think they've forgotten, because their lifetimes are short.
So much potential lost. I'll make notes of that and see what I can find out. I do thank you for that particular information.
Absolutely.
I could have, of course, we could have had this talk without meeting together, but there's some important things I wish to discuss while we are together here. I'd hope that you all, based on what memories I have, understood my views of enlightening mankind instead of enslaving or grinding him under our heel. There are members of our faction who still wish to do that. Turn mankind into slaves. Little more than batteries of faith for us. I do not know who they are. They are hiding in our organizations. I want you all to be on the lookout for them, to try to find out. And the reason I ask you to be on the lookout for them is I have heard rumors that some of the people we have tried to enlighten have been kidnapped. Now, the only ones who could be doing that would be someone on the inside who knows what we are doing. One of our own. Misguided. I'm sure they're not doing anything monstrous with them.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
I've met a few that don't seem to understand the war is over. We lost.
Do not put it past our brothers and sisters to do horrifying things still.
Yes, I've seen evidence of that. That is why I'm hoping to find more who believe in enlightenment. But please, keep an eye out. If you need assistance with anything, Enlightenment Enterprises, give them my name. Helios. That is the name they know me by. It is not all of our kind, of course. Like any human organization, you have to have proper businesses. But my thrall runs it, and they will make sure I know. They will lend you what aid you can. I'm not going to make it public knowledge of this faction fight. I'm hoping, since we have 4 of you in one choir, that you all can work together to get to the root of the problem for me. I would be most thankful for that. And your position as a Faustian would, of course, be improved. I dare say the one who leads us would be most appreciative as well, and I will make sure he understands who you helped with this. As I said, I don't wish to name his name out loud. He was the throne of the first house. And if you'll believe it, he has found the body of a fallen actual heavenly host member, and has managed to secure some nice artifacts from that. Having him thankful for your help would be very beneficial.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that we could have this talk. I am, of course, as I'm going to be here a few months, feel free to call me at any time. You have my name. I will give you whatever assistance I can to make sure that we root out whoever these misguided Faustians are.
Do you have
Go ahead.
Do you have a telephone number? Have you like the phones are really cool, those things that humans made?
I find the phones unreliable, spotty on when they have connection. But speaking my name doesn't seem to have that particular problem.
All right.
Perfect.
You are so new.
He has a way to go. He'll learn. He will learn.
I can't. I mean, I can't
It's okay.
say otherwise. It's true.
I get it. We all went through it.
I'll have to admit, there are times when Helios still finds the wonder. Every time I change bodies, it's wonders to her. Odd how that is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Well, Cindy, it was good to see you again.
It's good to see you in a different form. Seems odd. So diminished from what we once were. But in some ways, I think we're better than we once were. I have an understanding now I didn't have before. And I see where we went wrong. It's our chance to maybe make it right a different way. And you watch as her form shifts once again, and you feel the twist in the fabric of creation as she shifts right back down to that 15-year-old, way too skinny of a girl. And she looks up with the big eyes again. I'm off. And starts skipping away in the park, which is odd because it's nighttime and she's a lone child.
Be careful.
I am. I leave you four to have a talk before we flash to the other group.
Not to be rude, I know we're all using our names, but when we're close to each other, you don't have to call me. You can call me Kathleen. I'd actually prefer that. So
I prefer Virginia.
it's less ringing in the head.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Sorry, that's just the only names that.
What is your given name?
Oh, August North.
August.
My name.
You need to calm down. Take a deep breath. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Remember, I introduced myself as Kathleen initially.
That's right.
Because it's a little bit nicer not having to constantly. When you're right in front of somebody, having the conversation two ways in your head is just kind of too much.
I mean, I'd hate just to do something you didn't want me doing. So of course, Kathleen.
Yes. Or if you prefer, you can call me Dr. Stone.
What do you prefer?
Whatever suits your fancy. But we're not in a professional setting, so you can call me Kathleen.
Okay.
Sorry. I was on the clock. I'm working on the things of helping people, and so.
So yes. Yeah, that sounds really fascinating. Like you're helping humans. Which kind of we are. It's still so strange, but could you explain that a little more? I mean, it sounds really interesting.
I cured cancer.
That sounds incredible.
Totally on accident.
I think the work that Sin was talking about is going to need to be a little bit more long term instead of but we all have our own gifts. We all do our own thing. So
what about you?
Well, first of all, you can call me Michelle.
Okay, Michelle.
I'm in a band. Yeah, that's what I do.
A singer?
Yeah, and songwriter. That's inspire amazing. And yeah, I try and inspire people. Sure, let's go with that.
I mean, I'm not a writer, but I mean, August performs as well.
What kind of music?
It's other people's songs, but stuff that is just kind of, it feels easy to listen to. I perform at this place where they sell coffee and other stimulants.
I gotcha.
Do you perform at a coffee and cocaine house? Is that what you're implying?
No, like what, tea?
Oh, yeah. I always forget about tea. See, you said coffee and other stimulants in my brain.
Tea. I think they have a soda fountain. I think which has like caffeine in it. Sugary treats.
That was 100% my bad. So
I mean, they could sell cocaine. I haven't had anything with cocaine in it, but
That you know of.
that I know of.
Sorry, I
No, you're okay.
I imagine if you mix the coffee and cocaine, you'd be wired for days.
his normal demeanor tells me he's already wired. So.
Exactly. So on top of that,
Ever since I got hit by that car, it's been
okay,
exciting to be.
it's fine in present company. Just be careful bringing that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Sorry, August. I apologize for. I believe I was told the vernacular is busting your balls. Humor as a form of situational defusing is a common tactic that people use, and I am currently operating on that because I was doing that with a patient earlier. So,
well, as we say, it's water under the bridge.
That's good.
So as you all continue to get to know each other a bit here in a public place.
Virginia's going to say, y'all want to go back to my place and talk?
Sure.
Yeah, actually. I actually have something that I'd like to talk to you about. So
Perfect.
So you all head towards Virginia's place. We're flashing now to Sylvester Steakhouse. Clark and Thomas have come in. Now, you've never met each other in these particular bodies. As you all are waiting at the bar, you see a man walk in. You can feel him as soon as he walks in. You can feel something. He's radiating. Wow. Heavenly power. But as he walks in, he comes in the door and you see him walk forward. He stops. And when he stops, the waiter in front of him actually drops a glass and he stops just short of any of it hitting his shoe or his foot in any way. And then he steps around it and continues walking as if he knew that was about to happen. You two are the ones I'm looking for.
Is the bar crowded right now?
It is, but he actually looks over. Let's take that seat over there in the corner. And as he says it, you see the people who are sitting there get up and walk out. Just so happens the table opened up.
I head over there.
Yeah. Thomas will take his drink and follow them.
Have a seat. Don't know how long this will go. Find this place fascinating, though, the patterns as you come in. Humanity is so interesting in that. So much to see. Which one of you are Carsador? So, Agorith.
Please, Thomas.
As you know, my human name is Gerhard. You may know me by another name, though. Avermel.
Would that ring any bells for me?
Yes. Considering he was the one who predicted the fall of humanity and the reason that Lucifer turned his back on God, everyone with any legacy at all would remember that name.
What in the world are you doing here?
I escaped like you did. They tell me I'm in charge of the cryptics. I'm not quite sure I agree with that. Most of what I want to do.
There?
How is it back there? It's hell. Nothing. How do you see the threads of fate? How do you see the patterns when there are none? It's hell.
My memories of it aren't pleasant.
There's so much we
damage
missed.
to it.
There's just so much we missed. So much I got wrong.
We all got it wrong.
We will have time for lamenting once we've corrected our problems.
Well, first, we got to figure out what the problems are. And that's the hard part. part of why I'm here. I am hoping you all can assist me with something. There is a fortress here somewhere. I know it's here. Can't find the threads to lead me to it, but I know it's here. Fortress from the war. One of mine, actually. It contains notes. Hopefully the notes can fill in some of my missing memories.
As soon as you get a location or a general location, I can take you there.
I can't find it, that's the problem. I need you all to help me look for it.
What are the chances it would line up with one of... He actually pauses for a second, trying to think if there is like a lot of mines in the greater Chicago area, or even further afield in more of Illinois if need be.
My hope is that I know it's here in the city somewhere. Maybe your memory, when you get close to it, you'll remember. Maybe one of your friends will mention it. It has to do with my final prophecy. Star is in the sky.
Do you remember, does anything come to mind when you think of the fortress that might be of use to us?
Everything I can remember is from a world that doesn't look like this.
Tell me about it. The light pollution here is awful.
The land is shifted. It's twisted from what it was. But I know it has to do with when the last daughter of the first woman gives her birthing cry, you shall know that the span of the earth is not in decades, but years. It's linked to that somehow.
Does that ring any bells, any sort of like news things, anything that Thomas would have heard
How
about?
much does Thomas pay attention to some of the alternative news places? Clark has just been told about that, but I don't know if Thomas is keyed into those.
Yeah, probably not then. Yeah, it's definitely not his cup of tea.
It's all linked together somehow. The last daughter of the first woman is the key to finding the fortress. I know that thread, but I can't find it. I can't locate it.
More information. I had. I dislike prophetic readings. They're often too, excuse the joke, cryptic.
I wish I didn't have them. They've led to nothing but bad things for us.
Ain't that the truth?
It caused us. You bear the weight of knowing your vision is what caused the world to end up like this.
I disagree. Your vision didn't cause it. It was a warning. That's all visions ever are.
And I kept my mouth shut. Maybe things would have been different.
Or you would have sat by silently as everything fell apart.
I think the mortals have a word for that. Hindsight is 20/20.
You know better.
Go ahead.
You know better than any of us that avoiding it doesn't stop it from happening.
I don't want people to know I'm here. I get enough glorification from our kind when I don't deserve it. Help me find the hidden fortress. Help me find that last daughter of the first woman.
Can do.
Maybe we'll get answers there. If I can see the notes and get my memories, maybe there's a key to stopping all this. Because I know the prophecy we're on now. I know the red star. I'm waiting to see the light of the morning in the city of angels. That's all that's left. Yeah, I don't like prophecies either. But unfortunately, they do have a way of coming true now, don't they?
It's the bitch about prophecies.
Yeah.
Quick question for you, storyteller.
Go ahead.
Is Ragdan a cryptic?
You don't know. Ragdan was the contact of Virginia.
Trying to get in contact with him.
You would have to talk to Virginia, who actually knows who Ragdan was. Or Ragdan directly, if he'll answer you. He is.
If he'll answer me.
Yeah, he is himself.
He's eccentric even by malefactor standards.
Yes, he is.
I was like, I have a feeling he'll respond to anybody who says his name just because.
It is.
Yeah, but what he provides is.
As Airman or Airmal gets up, he leans forward and he slides a piece of paper across the table. Play those numbers in the lotto. It's so delightfully easy to read this sometimes.
Mark shrugs and takes it.
Please keep in touch. Like I said, I don't want people to know I'm here, but you know how to find me. You know my name. I'll try to sort it out from all the others. Do you know how often that name is cursed? And I have to hear it every time they do it.
Now, a question for storyteller. He implied during talking to us that he didn't want to say his name, correct?
Not through the communication at the time, no.
So, if you are so hesitant to give us your name and use alternative communications, why is now okay?
I lied to you. I was worried that if I gave you my name right off, you wouldn't come. Wouldn't give me a chance to say my piece.
In exchange,
I thought
then.
It's happened more than once, trust me.
Yeah, I thought you already knew I was coming regardless.
No, I said that's what the thread showed. And if you took a different path, it wasn't going to end well for any of us.
Did you learn our names in a vision, or did someone give them to you?
I heard it from friends. Ones I can't reveal.
I don't need names, but how many?
One. That's all it took was one. I am a cryptic. I have access to the library. With that access, I dare say, most of you all walking on this earth, one way or another. Catalog. Help me out and I will tell you about it sometime.
Let's see what I can find.
And he gets up and walks out.
Yeah, as soon as he gets up, like Thomas is a bit oblivious at times. So while even Karsor is still there, like he's just drinking, like finishing his drink, just sort of like socially awkward, just sitting there with somebody else at the table, not having a conversation.
Carsador seems to his eyes like flick to you, and he's like, it's more like someone who would try to evaluate something than like want to strike up a conversation.
Yeah. And Thomas, I think, is exactly more so, finishing the drink and then also sort of in his head, like wanting to get back to his research and really not caring a whole lot about whatever the fuck they were just tasked to do.
You both hear your names in your head.
Well, isn't this a day?
Good to hear from you.
It's always pleasant to hear from you two. The others are at my place. We all need to talk.
Full meeting,
Yeah. Can you bring the other newbie?
of course.
Thanks.
You know I can hear you, right?
Oh, I know. I don't know you yet.
We'll be there soon.
Thanks, guys. And
So-
he shuts it down.
As you all go to gather, I think right here will be a perfect chance to take a break, everybody, as they have met their representative of their various factions in the city and been given tasks. Tasks that may or may not overlap in some way, but we're going to have to find that out, as for the first time, this choir is going to be together in the same room at the same place, and they're going to have to feel out everyone's positions. Please, everybody, enjoy the break. We will see you in 10 minutes. Welcome back. And yeah, that's not Scandinavian, but y'all don't get to hear the rest of it because that's where I'm just going right from there. Y'all can try to guess what that conversation meant with.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Before the break, well, this choir of fallen angels finally got to meet with the heads of their factions, both of which are actually important movers in their faction, which in some ways, I guess, somebody's noticed they have potential. And they didn't get to deal with the middle managers. And as we open up, all 6 have gathered at Virginia's house. Conveniently, her kids aren't there tonight, so the house is free for use. And we're going to open up with all 6 gathered. I'm sure August there has looked at wonder at all the pictures her daughter draws and everything around the house. I turn it over to my choir of fallen angels.
As Clark arrived, when he got inside the house, out of habit from, his whole like treat my sister better sort of thing, as soon as he sees Virginia, he gives her the same sort of stilted, half trying to care, but obviously doesn't know how to hug.
And she actually wraps him up in like a bear hug.
Ow. Ugh,
She pats him on the shoulder.
Why didn't we make these more durable? Humans get hurt from everything.
Thomas is just watching this happen with confusion. Like I could like staring a little uncomfortably, like makes other people uncomfortable, but he's also clearly uncomfortable because it's like what the fuck is going on?
You must be the other new one, Agorith.
I would be. And you are
Arazeth, but you can call me Virginia.
got it.
And what would you prefer I call you?
Thomas when we're here,
Good.
I think would be best.
And she takes your hand and shakes it.
He'll look at it and it's more so like it's a second longer or so than you think it would need to be.
Mhm.
And then he just kind of like slowly offers his hand out, obviously like socially awkward.
Mhm.
This seems unnecessary.
Oh, well, we haven't met in this situation before. Come, the others are in the sunroom.
Thomas, like, he'll follow and he's immediately like looking around.
And you see photographs on the walls of her and her kids, and even some older ones when they were younger with Virginia's husband. And there's pictures and stuff that the kids have made and trophies from different sports activities and stuff like that.
August would just be at one of them, like just staring at it intently, like admiring it.
All right. Well, did you two have a meeting tonight too?
Indeed.
Well, how did you figure that out?
Because we had one as well. The I guess you would call her an upper manager of the Faustians, summoned us to her.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Cryptics, obviously, but
People are going missing again, Carsador.
again. What does that mean again?
We dealt with disappearances a little while ago.
Mm-hmm. Before you guys got here. Only that time it was a Ravener. Siphoning off faith.
Are we sure it's not now?
We don't know. I wouldn't be surprised.
It would at least give us probable cause. That's the word.
But what did they want with the people?
What we all want with the humans. The faith.
Well, we want to elevate the humans.
Yeah. They I was going to say it wasn't so much rip and tear. I think they took what they wanted, discard it. So, yeah. It was not a good time.
Misguided, pathetic idiots who don't know that we put so much fucking work into this place.
Oh, yes, but unfortunately it is very easy to lose faith in what we have created.
Of course. But you can always fix things. Not easily. But we can fix this.
I meant that when someone has been hurt, even one of our own, it is difficult sometimes to reconcile that hurt with not just scorched earth, start over, because there is no starting over necessarily, but they don't see it that way. They think that like the destruction is a new phase going forward. I don't know. It was a conversation I had with somebody, and I was trying to talk them off of that ledge. So
I'll leave you to keeping people on correct paths. I just walk them.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Clark. I think the city thanks you. No,
it doesn't.
Sorry. Kathleen turns towards the new face, Kathleen Stone, and she puts out her hand to Thomas.
And very much in like the same manner that he did with Virginia. He just kind of like looks at the hand for like a second longer, and then just like slowly shakes it. Thomas Ingram, I guess technically doctor, but probably not the same.
Oh, doctor. Okay, nice to meet you, Dr. Ingram. I'm Dr. Stone.
Oh, you can call me Thomas. I don't need the pompous title.
Perfect. I appreciate that. Trim Desiel, of course, but please use Kathleen when we're. I appreciate that.
Thomas, hey you. It's all fine.
Have you thought about therapy, Thomas?
You know, you're not the first person to ask Thomas that.
It's not going to be me, but someone could help you with the handshake thing at least. So,
I have to address the elephant in the room. You two were sent here.
Yeah, they're getting uppity.
He can bite my lily white ass. He wants to destroy everything when he gets here.
Yeah, that's a very fair assumption.
And not on my watch.
Does the name Arazeth ring any sort of bells for Thomas?
Let's see how much you remember. Intelligence plus legacy. Difficulty 6, because you've had a lot of close association with her in the abyss. Intelligence plus legacy. Let's see how many successes you get.
He just
Would
sits back, his eyes go wide, and he starts sweating.
would deduction for intelligence do anything?
Sure, I'll let you have that one. All it does is let your 10s explode. There's no bonus dice, but I'll let you have that one. Sure, why not? I generally, if people suggest a specialty, I try to say okay.
Like, I get it if not, but it's just,
No,
it's more
we'll
so.
go with that. We'll see what you get, whether you can remember anything.
5.
Oh, wow. That is enough to remember. Arazeth was known as Arazeth the Mother, creator of the Nephilim.
Yeah, I can imagine a mother wanting to protect her children.
Wow, he knows you already.
Indeed.
There are some things, quite a few things, that are still very fuzzy, but Arazeth is not one of them.
Let's just say I have some notoriety.
Say this is the second time you've been called mother tonight.
Yes. During the war, I created the Nephilim. Well, I created how they could be created.
Yeah, the question is, do you remember the Nephilim, Azazel? If you wish to see if you remember what they are, you can roll intelligence plus legacy against difficulty of 6. I'll give you that one as well. We'll see if you can remember what that difficulty is 6, because, well, that is a name that is well known in demon history. How many? Couldn't hear you. You're muted there, I think.
I apologize. Do ones do anything?
No, yeah, they cancel out successes.
Then 0.
Nope, you have no clue what that word means.
They were half-breed children. Daughters of the first woman and...
Whoa, 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 whoa.
divine
Say
sons.
that again.
Daughters of the first woman.
Yeah. So
That's what he meant.
yeah. Okay. So our meeting, we were advised that the last or the fall of the firstborn, pretty much whatever you just said, but something's happening.
We met the one who predicted the fall.
He kind of wanted to keep that on the down low.
Yes, but these people I trust.
I always said those visions of his were a curse.
Oh, he said so too.
Just a warning. He seems rather torn up.
I imagine he would be.
But he told us about something else. Finding the last daughter of the first woman.
What on earth?
He said
Kids are born every day.
he said that he was looking for a mine, an old fortress from way back.
From the war.
And this last daughter is the key, I suppose.
As he put it, yes.
That's gonna be worse than trying to find a needle in a haystack.
We've pulled off similar feats before.
I imagine with two of us, finding things shouldn't be difficult.
And something came up at Clark's work. There's no female children being born.
What?
That's the rumor. Clark was given an assignment to look into it, not his usual area of journalistic expertise, but he was given the assignment. I was going to
That's
ask you if any of your people at the hospital might know something about it.
Oh God, I haven't worked at Virginia hasn't worked at the hospital in years. But I'll ask some people.
It did seem very odd.
That
If this is true, though, who would the last girl to have been born?
if this is true, the humans are going to freaking panic.
Seems easy for them to do.
We just need to make
That's
sure
if
to
they're paying
marshal the
attention.
information.
They may not all necessarily be paying attention.
Have you seen outside? I know I'm new here, but it seems the last thing most of them do is pay attention. But someone will put this together
Someone
eventually.
will, and then it'll be broadcast all over the world in the news.
If it's already reaching tabloid offices, it's only a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
So much to do.
Mars, you had something you wanted to talk to me about?
Oh, yeah, it wasn't that important. It was more so we can talk about that later after.
Okay.
It's not that important right now.
Okay.
sorry.
No, please.
This is actually might be of interest to our friend Thomas and Clark. Of course, I felt everyone should probably hear it at the same time. So when I gave Tragoth's friend part of the necklace he had been trapped in and talked to him, he mentioned that there was a pocket dimension in Chinatown and that some of us had been sucked into it. So I was just avoiding Chinatown, and I didn't think any of us necessarily had any business there. But now with all the other stuff, this might be of some importance, or maybe it's an answer to one of the questions we have before us.
It might actually make sense for what part of we were told. He was having difficulty locating the fortress after some time searching. Perhaps a pocket dimension might be to explain it.
Mentioning patterns quite a lot, so
I mean,
seems he's well informed. Nothing else.
Sorry for not bringing it up to you sooner, Clark. It's just taking a step back from everything was kind of nice, and not having to think about that. It would seem like one of those things that was probably not a big deal, but now, like I said, with everything else, it feels
Worth mentioning.
yeah.
Does anyone else have, excluding the newer ones, does anyone else have Any revelations in the time since we dealt with Tragoth?
Yeah, Virginia's daughter is sensitive.
To what degree?
She can sense how tormented I am. She opens up the drawer in the coffee table, takes out a scrapbook, opens it up, and starts showing pictures that her daughter has drawn.
Some are of a white form with wings behind her. Some are of a dark form. Some of it is a mix of both, half dark, half white form. Always behind the same individual holding a little girl's hand. Bunches of different photos by now.
May I see those?
Absolutely.
While August is looking at it, Thomas will look at the picture and then look over at Kathleen and just, I need therapy.
Yes, everyone needs therapy to a certain degree, Thomas. This okay. I don't want to say that this is worrisome, but if your daughter is doing this, I assume that this is possible in the general population.
It is.
So are we just walking around pretending like everything's cool and there's people who are seeing and
Oh, it gets worse.
Well, I will tell you that Virginia's daughter doesn't actually see it. She can just kind of feel it
And then put it on paper.
and then draw it on paper. She says it doesn't feel right until she does the wings and such. And then it feels right. I've made her a thrall.
For the best.
probably.
About not long after the Tragoth incident, I met with Clark's brother-in-law, sister, and niece as I'm trying to repair that relationship. As they were leaving, her priest, pastor, whoever, older gentleman approached. I've never felt so much faith in one person. It was concentrated. And he could tell I wasn't Clark. Then he tried to shove me out of the body.
Well, I think we have a front runner for problem.
Something worryingly tells me that he's not the only human that might be capable of such. He also seems to know that the Maker abandoned this place.
And still has that much faith.
In
Interesting.
God. He preached it as much himself.
Are you sure he's not maybe a member of the first house masquerading?
There was nothing like us in him. I shook his hand. It was similar to when I collected the holy items with Michelle from the antique store. Fighting tinfoil.
What in the world have we been sent into?
Disaster. Welcome to Earth.
It's the end of days, haven't you heard?
Oh, yeah, the big red star in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
As they're talking about all this doom and gloom, August is only kind of half listening. Like he's picking up what they're saying, but he's still just taking in the picture. And after they finish that, he just looks up and says, "This is a very lovely picture of you. Your daughter did a good job," and closes it and hands it back to her.
Thank you. And she puts it back in the drawer.
I think it best that none of us ever meet her daughter.
That's why I only invite you over when the kids aren't here.
Understand? Well,
And also pay attention to the humans around you.
Yeah.
It seems there are still some mysteries about the things we helped create.
Yeah.
I do have one question. Does it seem like anyone else? You guys have been here longer than myself, and then he'll just kind of like thumb over towards August.
August.
Has anyone else's feeling about things feel off, right? Like things aren't the way we made them.
There's some misalignments.
Just checking.
We were locked away for millennia.
And then humanity violated existence.
They were left to their own devices.
I'd say more that they changed existence rather than violated, but potato.
Didn't you say, Virginia, that something's here that shouldn't be? Wolf people?
Oh,
Yes, there are living creatures that we did not create.
the antibodies.
The antibodies. There are what appear to be people that are shapeshifters.
Oh, fun.
I mean, differently than what we just saw with.
Very different.
They're wholly unique unto themselves, and no one claims to have made them.
Yeah.
I've checked with others in the city.
I remember giving the breath of life. I know I didn't create that.
And they are living, at least from what we've been
They
told.
are. I saw it with my own eyes. They can shift into wolf form. I imagine they can also shift into some kind of upright, almost humanoid style wolf.
What
If
did
the
one-
movies are anything like it, they can get large.
What did the one that you spoke with say? Goral was what he called himself?
Guru.
Guru.
Yes.
Please tell me they can't turn into sharks.
I have no idea. I imagine if some can turn into wolves that they, reside on land, if there are any that reside near water, they may be able to.
Land sharks would be terrifying.
And then there's also the blood drinkers, but I'm sure you at least have a passing familiarity with them.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, descendants of Cain.
Clark almost spits on the sunroom floor, but decides not to.
Yeah, Cain's curse spread.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So, needless to say, the humans were left to their own devices to deal with supernatural entities. While we were locked away, and who knows what the fuck the host was doing. Probably sitting with their thumbs up their asses.
Oh, that was another thing mentioned. Actually, wait, sorry, before I commit something to canon storyteller, were we the ones told that? I'm suddenly blanking.
Which part?
Finding the host, like an actual host, not one of us.
No,
I
we
can't
were.
remember whose scene that was
No.
in.
We were.
Okay.
Our faction representative mentioned that the big guy of the faction actually found the remains of one of the hosts with some relics. Remains. It is my presumption that some of the hosts maybe were hunting Lucifer or keeping watch on Lucifer. And they were destroyed.
So they're not immortal.
What are the chances they were destroyed by him?
Please roll. Hang on. I have to do this right now. Let me find it.
Because I just said his name.
Yep. I need you to roll something. Roll perception plus awareness, please.
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty is 7.
See, the
My
demon
bad.
cell phone
I should
is
have said
useful, but
Lucy.
the demon cell phone is great until it sucks. That's the
It
problem
sucks
with
right
it.
now. So perception awareness, you
Yep.
said?
Difficulty is 7.
That's 3.
3. You feel something. You're not sure what it is.
I shut it off.
It's not that feeling. It's a presence, but you can't place your finger on what it is.
Okay. Never say his name again. You're muted.
He didn't speak with you, did he?
No, but I feel something.
It's distant, very distant.
I feel like a presence, but it's really far away.
And as you say that, it suddenly feels closer. You don't know how much closer, but closer.
And now it's closer.
Which means it's drawing near or paying attention.
Well, this seems like a good time to not be in this house.
I don't think being in the house or not being in the house would have anything to do with it if it's Virginia that has the connection.
I more so meant being in the general vicinity of someone with his attention.
Oh, please. He stopped by and spoke to us.
Fantastic. This gets better.
Same
and
asshole
we're
he
truly
always
none of
was.
we're none of his concern.
We're the small potato.
You guys kept saying a name. Tagoth.
Tragoth.
Tragoth, yes.
What in the world who was that?
Tragoth was one of our compatriots from our holding cell, but not necessarily part of our group. He was a friend of a friend, and something happened to him. We're not really sure exactly, but he was forced to make the choice of going back to the cell or inhabiting an object. And he chose to inhabit the object, which in turn drove him, I don't want to say insane, but like made him the worst that you could be.
The rush of feelings, empathy, knowledge of your own existence that you get when taking a human, apparently does not happen with material.
He was untempered. I don't want to say rage, but he was very angry. But he was also he was killing, pulling faith out of people because that's all he could do. I want to say he was kind of like that, rabid dog or something, and just have to feed it, feed it, feed it, feed it, feed it. Yeah.
Electricity without the conduit.
Virginia.
All I know is that if you have the option, if something happens to your body and you can't find a suitable host in time, and you have the option of taking an object, you have to make the choice at that moment. But being an
Don't.
object doesn't seem like it's a very good trade-off.
Virginia, a voice echoes in your head. It is a voice you recognize very well. Ragdan speaks. Arazeth, the mother, I beg your forgiveness in this intrusion. Can we speak?
Yes, Ragdan, what's up?
I am sending someone your way. Someone you must meet with. I apologize that I gave her your location. But when you meet her, you will understand. And you realize this is not Ragdan's normal flippant self. He is very serious.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel it through the communication.
Mm-hmm. One of us?
Yes, one of your house.
Mm.
Shinaval of the Plagued Wind. If you wish to roll a legacy on that one, you can.
I will.
Okay.
See, kids, it's always good to know who's in your house.
Difficulty, since it's a house member, will be 6.
That's 5.
She earned that name during the Battle of the Battle of the Plains. Now, afterwards was called the Plagued Plains, because she unleashed a horrible plague upon the mortal followers of the heavenly host. She was a scourge. Was well known to fight in the forefront of battles, wielding plague as a weapon.
What does she need or want?
She wishes assistance and help, protection. You'll understand. I don't want to say any more, as we've learned. Sometimes we can be picked up when we are talking.
Thanks for the warning. And she closes the link.
And you all heard her speaking softly to herself, but don't catch the full conversation.
What was her name again?
Shinaval of the Plagued Wind.
Okay. One of my house is on her way. She needs assistance. I don't want to mention name until she gets here because I don't want to communicate with her.
You're muted there, Carsador.
So much is still happening.
Yes, there are more of us now.
Feels
Which
like
is-
a
Does-
snowball effect.
It seems the prison isn't holding.
Of course it isn't.
Does her coming here concern you?
Well, needless to say, she, during the war, laid waste during the Battle of the Plains. So, but, she was fighting on our side, of course. I don't know where she stands now.
Suppose we'll learn that when she arrives.
Exactly. But being that we're of the same house and I'm quite skilled in that arena, if she's coming for a fight, she might lose.
Not like illness would harm us, anyways.
No.
The doorbell rings.
I'll be
Well,
right
that
back.
was quick.
I'll be right back. We have wings. And I go to the
Overrated.
door.
When you open the door, or look through it first, I'm sure you look through your little
Mhm.
peephole. There's a woman outside. You can only see her from the shoulders up, short black hair. She looks to be mid-20s. And she is standing on your porch, but constantly looking over her shoulder.
Virginia opens the door.
And when you open the door, the short woman that's before you, she's wearing, due to the weather, it's cold out at this time of year.
Mhm.
She's wearing a full coat that goes all the way down to her ankles. But you can also see by the shape of the coat, she is pregnant. And she looks at you.
Get inside before you catch your death. Come on.
She steps in. And do you lead her to the whole rest of the group?
I have my choir with me. Do you wish to speak to them all or me privately?
Well, I'm hoping to speak with you privately at least. I need help.
I take her to a den that I can close off.
You are Erizeth the mother, right?
Yes.
I remember you.
You are Shinaval of the Plagued Existence.
Plagued wind, though now it seems so foreign to me, so lost.
You don't remember much.
No. But I have a body.
Is it still actively pregnant? And Erizeth puts her hand.
And as she undoes her jacket, you see she's maybe 8 months pregnant, by your guess, by the size of it. It's alive. It's a girl.
Shinaval.
And I'm scared. We're not supposed to give birth.
Yes, well, these are human bodies. And if she was in this state when you took her, and she wasn't completely gone, the baby might have survived. They are resilient.
The baby is alive. I feel it. The life is in me. It's a baby girl. But I'm scared.
Why are you scared?
Because I know the prophecies.
Yeah.
I remember those. Ragdan said, I'm not supposed to have a child. He's never heard of our kind taking a body and the child surviving.
That child was meant to be born.
He said I should come to you for help and protection. Because if others find out, they'll take us both.
Not on my watch.
He said if anyone knew and would understand, the mother is who I should see.
He occasionally has some wisdom.
He is a goof of a...
Oh, that's a front.
I remember him from the abyss. He was still odd.
Oh, yes, odd he is, but the goofy part, that's a front. Mashiva takes her hand back after she does a cursory assessment of the child.
Do you push your supernatural senses into the child?
Yes.
Okay. Give me perception awareness.
Okay.
And because you are a scourge that is well versed in health, I will give you a target of 5. Nice and easy one for that one.
4.
4?
Mm-hmm.
You feel the spark of faith in a child that's not even born. It is definitely a living child, but it has a spark of faith before awareness, which is very odd to you.
This child is unique. It has faith already. But it is not aware.
It's my child. No, it's Rosemary's child. But I have her memories now.
Yeah. I've noticed that if we don't remember much of who we were, we remember more of who we took.
All she wanted was a child. Lost most of them. She was so happy that she was finally going to be a mother. But then something went wrong. I think it was a blood clot. And I stepped in to save her. I want our child to be born.
It will be. Come, meet my associates, my choir.
And when Virginia walks into the room, you see a woman obviously very, very pregnant.
Completely and totally as a matter of reflex, Thomas is just going to say immediately, well, that saves us a search.
Everyone. This is Rosemary.
Rosemary McMillan.
Also, Shinoval. This is Clark Miller, also known as Carsador. Thomas Ingram, Dr. Thomas Ingram, also known as Agarath. Mr. August North, Bazazel.
Very, very nice to meet you.
Dr. Kathleen Stone, Tremdezio. And Michelle Porter, stage name Mars, Drulirio.
And when
So-
you say Drulirio, she looks at you. Of the seventh house. I know that. I don't remember much else. We've met before.
Oh, okay.
Fragments.
Can I make a roll?
Sure. You can do an intelligence legacy roll.
Nothing weird about the creepy pregnant lady knowing who you are.
Legacy is an odd thing for every fallen. I'll give you on this one difficulty 7. Intelligence legacy. We'll see what you get.
Aren't there even instances where fallen can have no legacy?
Yes, they don't even know they're a fallen. Try to convince them what they are. That's a fun point.
I don't know. Revelation doesn't work on us, so
Let's see how many she gets.
Sorry, what's the success?
7 is your target.
3.
3, you vaguely remember her. She was always good about, even when she was forced to kill the mortal followers of the heavenly host, of trying to alert the slayers so that they could shepherd the souls before the heavenly host got hold of them. That's all you can remember.
I think, yeah, you actually help us a lot. Yeah. I don't remember much, but I do remember that. You really helped us.
I need help. I want my child protected. My little girl. And she puts her hands on her belly when she says it.
Clark recently found out that there's reports, granted they aren't public yet,
And have rumor.
possibly. I'll have to look into it. My human role here is I am actually a nurse.
Actually, I work at one of the hospitals.
Are only boys being born?
Yeah. We're calling it a statistical anomaly.
Yeah.
That makes you a miracle.
That makes her a sign of the end of days.
That makes
Yeah.
two.
The way to look at it.
It is both.
Thomas just goes, "Yay, apocalypse."
I am none too happy about this.
It does seem to be conveniently inconvenient.
It's a little uncomfy.
Storyteller,
Yes.
can I do a roll for sense congruence just because
Of course you
all
can.
of this shit going on, just seeing if this is
Everything is way too sus? Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah.
That
There's
will be
way too much
perception.
shit happening at one point.
That
It
is
almost
a
feels
perception plus
forced.
intuition roll.
Sorry, say that again.
Perception plus intuition.
Perception, intuition.
And you'll sense a pattern a number of days equal to your faith, which up to 4 days ahead of you.
Difficulty?
It will be 6. Default
3.
difficulty if I do not name one.
Okay, 3.
3. If you do not protect this woman, if you do not find a way to avert the future, she will be run down by a truck on the streets of Chicago in 2 days.
Could I use my empathetic response ability?
Of course you can.
Like I'm assuming we are going to protect her, but I just want to know kind of
Manipulation, empathy. Now,
Can I
because
use my emotions specialty?
Yep, because this is a demon, technically she can, if she wishes, resist it. But I will let you roll, and then she'll decide whether to allow you to read. Because demons are pretty immune to mind reading. That's one of their best abilities when they choose to be.
Sorry, what was the target? I apologize.
Target number is going to be 6.
Nine.
Wow, that is impressive. You're reading her emotions and desires and reacting to them. You know damn well she means what she says. She wants her child to survive. That's actually the only thing that she's caring about at the moment. She doesn't even seem to care about herself, just the child.
Then hopefully in a not like creepy way, I'm going to kind of like direct my response like I'm talking to the child and just say, "We'll protect your daughter." I kind of look to the others for reassurance and support in that statement.
Oh, absolutely.
Did I get
obvious solution?
Did I get any sense at all other than like what's going to happen, like where
No,
about?
3's just told you on a street somewhere in Chicago.
Okay.
Which tells you keep her away from streets.
Oh yeah. No, that's yep.
And
Or
maybe
yep.
warn her to keep an eye out for trucks.
I know that firsthand.
No. Yep. We need to keep her out of traffic.
Yeah.
And she actually goes over and does an odd thing because it's not a demon's reaction. She actually wraps Arazeth in a hug. Thank you, Mother. Thank you.
Why does everyone hug?
For me, it was just a force of habit.
Do you want one to see if you like it?
No.
Okay. Where can she
Arazeth
stay?
does hug her back.
Do you have a place to stay? Do you need to stay with one of us?
I have an apartment, but
Let's
She should not be alone.
agreed. I think yeah.
it's public. Well, not public record, but it's in the medical records that I am still carrying a baby girl.
How many people know you in this form?
Know who I am now? No.
None?
Ragdan.
Just
You
Rag.
all.
Okay.
But
you don't have any thralls?
Not yet.
That's something we should help her remedy immediately.
Yeah.
It's weird. I'm sustained by the faith of the child.
Okay, that's really weird.
Yeah, let's get you a backup because this keeps getting creepier.
I'd offer my place, but I don't think my girlfriend would appreciate me bringing a strange person to her who is also pregnant home.
If I stay with her, I am the one who can get her the quickest out of any situation, if that would help.
That's really kind offer.
Clark
Yeah.
lives alone. It makes the most sense.
Thomas does too, but
Well,
I imagine
Clark's gifts have been shown us in the past to be exquisite, so I agree with that. Though I do wonder, Clark, do you mind if I stay with? I can help throw off the trail if need be.
I'll buy you a cot.
So thoughtful.
He totally doesn't even realize that.
Are
the
you
cot's gonna be
agreeable with
insufficient.
that? Or Rosemary?
If it'll protect my little girl.
It will. Clark is a malefactor. He travels paths very well.
And believe me, it's very hard to follow. Especially if I take time.
I remember that much. It's a lot of fragments, though.
Yeah.
Would it be better if she stayed at her apartment and I stayed there, or that she stayed in my apartment?
If anyone finds the medical records, they'll know to go
To her
to
apartment.
my house, my apartment.
So-
Also, could I showed the ability in the when we went underground. I was going to say if it was okay with Rosemary, I could change this color of her hair, her skin a little bit, so that maybe she isn't as recognizable. If that, we could always cut her hair some too. Just an idea, suggestion.
Maybe alter her teeth in case there's something followed through dental record.
I worry that what effect that would have on the child. That's
Well, I don't know if that would necessarily affect your child, of course. It was more of a don't worry about it. I'm going to spend time watching you, and if somebody comes for you, then I will do my best to make myself kind of look like you, and that's why I was saying I could help throw off the trail. So
this also might be a bit presumptive, but something tells me that the baby's a bit more resilient than we're all giving it credit for. It survived a possession.
I agree. That has, as far as I'm aware, never happened.
I just wanted to offer that we have some options.
No,
with,
I
some
agree
of
that
my
it's a great
talents.
option if you care to stay with the two of them.
Strength
Oh,
in
yes.
numbers.
Yeah, I would prefer
Yes.
it not be just one of us keeping watch over her. And if anyone needs to
Agreed.
leave, somebody needs to fill in. Agreed?
Agreed. If something happens and we need a more speedy resolution, I am able to transport great distances quickly.
Excellent.
We should work together.
Excellent. All right. Well, Rosemary, you will be protected. Your baby will be protected.
Thank you.
Of course.
And as this choir is now set on a course and a path, I think is a good point. We're going to end this episode. And what this choir doesn't know is at this moment on the news, an earthquake has just struck Los Angeles. One unexpected and bigger than they ever thought possible. Because then the earth shall groan, in a city of lies for angels named, each demon bound in flesh or stone hears anew the cry of the dimmed flame. The days of prophecy are coming. I would like to thank my amazing group of players that rolled very well with what was brought to them tonight. And as always, with this particular table of games, we're going to go around the table for the vote from the players who gets bonus XP. Everyone gets, of course, 1 XP for being here, 1 XP for role play, because everyone role played well. I'm assuming everybody learned something this episode. We don't have to round robin the learning, but let's round robin the player vote. And we're going to start off in the house order. Arazeth, your vote for who gets a bonus XP.
Yo, that's everybody.
Any particular reason or just cause?
Because this was a crazy freaking first episode of the season and everybody had something to contribute to it.
Okay. There's just votes for everybody. Carsador, your vote.
Also for everybody, but I would like to highlight one particular player.
Go ahead.
Lyriel. It's simple. Because consistently, Michelle is, when not on stage or interacting with people that your character is close to, it's not reservation, but there's a stoicism that you seem to hold her with, and it's really impressive every time because you're always so quiet in scenes, and then when you do say something, it's noticeable. Which, sorry, Maddox loves when people play Death Spirits right.
She is
Thank you.
of the 7th house.
Mm-hmm.
She's used to saying few words, but making sure when they are said, they are important. That is actually very much the 7th house.
You leave impact when you speak, and it's really impressive because I always hate the people that are like, yeah, I'm Death, fuck you. It's like, no, that's not how Death would ever behave.
Agorth, your vote.
I'm saying everybody as well. Again, yeah, I just think this being the first live episode, I think everybody, is doing. There's just so much fucking shanky shit getting thrown at us. It's
No demon can
Better than monkey
expect
shit.
to live in this time and not be part, some ways, of the end of days.
Yeah.
You are the forerunners. You're the first to escape. You must be central to the prophecies in some way. Bazazel, your vote?
Yeah, everyone, because they all have some fucking clue what's going on, and I don't.
You'll learn.
As the storyteller,
we did know when we first started this.
as
You'll
the
get
storyteller, I loved the wonder and the
Yeah.
almost childlike glee that,
And a little bit of innocence.
yeah, that August
Yeah.
is
Well,
showing.
the wool's getting ripped over his eyes soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
With any luck, we'll be the ones to do it instead of someone who's an asshole.
Trim Desi, I'll point out, this episode, there was no actual assholes that you all had to interact with.
No.
I know it's shocking,
It was,
but I
it was
can do that.
refreshing.
He literally said before we were ready to hit the start stream button, that he doesn't plan on having a lot of combat. And I'm like, well, quit throwing assholes at us.
Nope, no assholes this time. Trim Desiel, your vote.
I vote for everyone. I wanted to also say I really did enjoy Bazazale's kind of like, also, yes, pizza should be our form of governance. Also, shout out to Man Bear Angel. So
Al Gorath. Yep.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I had to say something. I didn't want to go too heavy on the ball busting, but it's important to do it occasionally.
It wouldn't be a stream, I think, with you and me if there wasn't ball busting at some point.
And
True.
let's get, now finally, Drew Lariel, your vote.
Everyone, duh.
So I will give everybody 4 XP total, plus a bonus to Drew Lariel and a bonus to Bazazel. Okay, so you two get 5, everybody else gets 4. It was a very good first episode, live episode at least, not the first episode, but the first of the live. And some heavy shit was laid on all of you this time. And it's important. So I do thank all of you for being here. And I hope you understand the road you're about to go walk on. Of course, please join us on a Discord. The cast of this show came from the Discord. That is where we cast all of our shows. Trust me, we've got a great group of players over there. We cast our shows from there. We do weekly Zoom hangouts. At least we try to, depending on our own schedules. And once in a while, and it's once in a great while, we do non-streamed games, but it's because we're generally busy as fuck and it's hard to do something non-streamed. So join us there. If you want to catch back episodes, YouTube. Pop over to YouTube. You can catch all the back episodes of Demon, Vampire, Werewolf, Changeling. We have pretty much every World of Darkness product covered, except for, I think right now, the main ones we don't have covered are Chronicles stuff, Orpheus, Promethean. But don't worry, the World of Darkness itself, we've got them all covered. If you want to get some merch, McStabber Studios merch, we don't really have any Demon merch. We have a lot of Windy City merch and just studio merch. Pop over to our merch channel. We don't really make any money off it, but it's a great way to show just, your love of the studio. And of course, as always, everybody, bits and donations that go to the players, not to the studio. If you want to give something to the players, bits and donations go to them, not to Relin or I. We only have to pull taxes out of it because we're taxed heavily for all this stuff, but bits and donations of the players. If you want to give to the studio, that is where you subscribe here on Twitch or pop over to our coffee, get us a coffee. That way you can buy Mama and I a coffee. And apparently, according to Zoom chat, McStabber Studios is now governed by pizza. That is now a thing. So
as long as it's gluten-free.
And it's good
honestly,
pizza.
Given how our communities run, that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
I was brought in on a delicious slice of Wraith pepperoni. I get you.
And now I can turn it over to my lovely wife so she can give the schedule of our upcoming streams.
Okay. So coming up, I believe Saturday, Tiss is going to be running London Esoteric Society. I have no idea if she is or not because it's Christmas Eve. I have no idea. She may or may not. But if she is, that will be at 3 p.m. on Saturday Eastern Time. And it is Call of Cthulhu 7E, set in Victorian London. They are doing a time skip, though. So they're going to be moving forward in time a little bit. And I'm sure things are just going to be just as messed up.
Yeah,
So-
they need to time skip to regain sanity because without it, they're out of sanity.
They're out of sanity because they're like going through it like nothing. And then on Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern, Christmas Day. Enjoy your day with your family, your friends, whatever you're doing that day if you celebrate. And then at 5 p.m. Eastern, join us for Windy City After Dark, Season 9, Episode 2. We haven't recorded it yet, so I can't even give you any teasers.
Nope. But I think Thomas over there has feelings about Episode 2, even though we haven't recorded it after what happened to him in Episode 1.
Yeah, as far as we know, Nicholas is still missing.
Hell, as far as Nicholas knows, Nicholas is still missing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I haven't told him what happened to his character while he was out yet.
The suspense.
Oh, what? No, Nicholas went missing.
don't ever get a sinus infection. That shit sucks.
In more ways than one.
I will simply say, Nicholas missing? What a tragedy.
Says the Giovanni.
Says the Giovanni.
Wow.
All right. And then on Tuesday next week, we are back here with Season 2, Episode 3, because our first episode was introducing the new characters as they went through their possession scenes and seeing what the rest of us that are returning from Season 1 did in the downtime. So that will be at 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. We will see you then. Now, please, 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 I'm going to say, be safe. Happy holidays, no matter what you celebrate, whether it is Yule, which starts tomorrow, or Hanukkah, which started this weekend, or any other holiday, Kwanzaa, anything, for real. Be safe. Take care of yourself.
Yes. Please take care of yourself because, as always, everybody, mental health, it's not a joke, not a laughing matter. And it's a tough time of year. The holidays are especially brutal on people. So please reach out to those around you. Check in on those you haven't heard from, even the ones you've heard from. Because as my wife likes to point out, some of the people who are constantly smiling, they're smiling because they're hurting inside. So please reach out and check in with them. Make sure everyone's okay. Make sure people are handling the holiday season. It's very important to do that. And if you suffer from mental health issues, I want to first say personally, it's okay to not be okay. I suffer from mental health issues. Many of us around here do. And it's okay. I'll admit it right on stream. It's okay. But if you can't check in on or can't reach out to those around you, because some people feel they can't, and I understand it, it's hard. In chat is a list of numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Someone will be on the other end to help you out, and we'll talk with you. Because everybody, you got to take care of yourself. Mental health is health, and it's very important. So please make sure you do that, and please take care of yourself in general. Give yourself some self-care, especially with the holiday coming in. Give yourself a little self-care. You may enjoy spending time with your family. You may not, but ultimately, no matter what you enjoy, do some self-care. Do some things for you. It's important. And I'll turn it over to my lovely wife for her final statement for this episode.
I'm also going to say the link that is in chat for Find a Helpline. If none of those crisis numbers that we have linked suit your situation, if you are in crisis, you can go to Find a Helpline and search for your location, and it'll pull up every support line available to you. And it covers over 140 countries. So please, the resources are there for you, just for you to utilize if you need them. We want to see you in the new year. Okay? I know holidays can be rough, especially for those of us who have lost people. So they can be real rough. I'm Mama McStabber. Beyond just dealing with mental health issues all the time, I'm a registered nurse. Timber Brad here is also a registered nurse. And part of taking care of yourself, sure, is partly self-care. It's making sure that your mental needs are addressed, but also your physical needs are addressed. So please take care of yourself over this winter because viruses are running rampant. Absolutely rampant. There are illnesses that were eradicated that have made a resounding comeback, like there's over 50 cases of measles in Ohio now. So please get your vaccines and boosters, please, please, please. And, take care of yourself as you can. Of course, we're going to say fuck all the fascists.
And I wish a giant Christmas gift of fuck you to Putin. Just a giant fuck you gift.
Yeah. But we hope you have happy holidays.
That's right. And I think you, the viewers, and of course, my table of amazing players, you all don't know what I have in store for you. You've gotten a bare glimpse. But I think you all will do pretty well. You have the tools to do it, at least. So I thank you all for coming, for the players being here. We will see everybody next time. Good night.